5 months ago, I came onto this channel and I told you all that SummerSlam is coming to Detroit, Michigan. What I had no idea at the time is that so am I. What is going on out there, world? It's your boy Tommy on the spot for Watch Along Wrestling. Hopefully everyone is doing well and staying safe. It is officially SummerSlam week, and I can't believe it, but I am heading to the biggest party of the summer in Detroit, Michigan. This trip came out of nowhere, and I am very excited for it. In this video, I'm going to break down all of the details of my trip, as I'll be heading today from New York City this evening all the way to Detroit, and I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm ready for it. If you're a longtime subscriber here on Watch Along Wrestling, first of all, thank you. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for checking out all the videos. Really appreciate you. And if you're new, hey, I love you just as much. Come on in. But if you are a long-time subscriber, you know that wrestling trips are a big part of this channel, and you know I usually give you one. I usually have one big traveling wrestling trip. So if I miss WrestleMania, I'll try to go somewhere else. Back in 2021, I wasn't able to get to WrestleMania, so we went to SummerSlam in Las Vegas. A great, great time. And if a wrestling show happens to be local, then I'll probably go to another wrestling show so that at least I get that wrestling trip experience in each year. Case in point, 2019 WrestleMania was local right here in the New York City area. So I went to WrestleMania, but then I also went to the Royal Rumble out in Arizona. Well, this year, this is unprecedented. I don't think this has ever happened where I will be going on my second wrestling trip of the year. And this is kind of how it all went down. You know my good friend Alex Dorio over at Talking Taker. He's been on the channel a couple of different times. He helped us out with looking back at the top 10 Royal Rumbles of all time. He's been here before to talk about his WrestleMania 20 experience as well as his WrestleMania 34 experience. I'll throw the links to those videos in the description if you want to check those out. But a super talented podcaster and someone I consider a friend as well, reached out to me about 3 weeks ago and invited me on his trip to SummerSlam. They had a trip planned. One of his buddies had to unfortunately back out of the trip, and so he asked me if I'd like to join. And you know, this came at probably the best time. Obviously, if you're following the channel here and you're following kind of my wrestling journey throughout the year, I was planning to go to SmackDown in Madison Square Garden. Unfortunately, just could not make the trip happen. And right after that, my wife and I started to take a look at the calendar and say, all right, is Detroit an option, right? Are we able to maybe pull this off? My wife is a couple of months pregnant here, and so we want to try to get some sort of baby moon in there. And what place could possibly be more romantic than beautiful Detroit, Michigan for a WWE wrestling pay-per-view? I do not know, but I thought that would have just been romance at its finest there for a baby moon. But in all seriousness, we did take a look at the schedule. Obviously, you know, she is in school, so we looked at if it was possible. We're just starting to look for it, and then boom, there he comes with a big picture of my main man, L.A. Knight, and let me know that this trip was an option for me, and I had to jump all over it. Went right to my wife, tried to see, you know, obviously we have a kid, she is another one on the way, so we were like, all right, we need to see if this is even possible. My wife is awesome. She couldn't be more supportive about it. Told me, hey, we've got a couple of busy months ahead. You certainly deserve this. Go ahead, enjoy the trip, and we'll do our baby moon when we get back. And we are doing that baby moon in just a couple of weeks. So it ends up being a little bit more romantic at the place that we're going. It should be a lot of fun. So in any event, I am amped for this. I'm ready for it. And my first guys wrestling trip in, I want to say, it might be my first guys wrestling like vacation trip since my very first one. Well, not my very first one, but my last one was probably WrestleMania 27. So it had been about 12 years. And don't get me wrong, I have a great time with the family on these wrestling trips, and great time going to all the different shows, and I've been blessed to go to so many shows. But this should be a lot of fun. I'm excited for it. So let me break down kind of the plan here for the weekend. So I'm heading down, as I mentioned, going to New York City, heading down to Detroit, Michigan, and I don't get there that late. I get there around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and Alex is getting there a couple minutes after me, so it ends up working out great. We're gonna link up at the airport and then Uber it over to our Airbnb. Once we get there, we get everything settled. We're gonna figure out the best way to get snacks for the hotel, so and for the kind of weekend, so to speak. So I don't know if we're gonna Instacart that or Uber it over to a supermarket, just pick up some of the essentials. You always need your bottles of water. I always need a little sour candy fix there in the middle of the night, so always enjoy that. But in any event, we are gonna do that, and then who knows? I mean, the night will still be young, so hopefully we'll be able to go out and get some grub, or maybe even head to the WWE Superstore. I know they have a SummerSlam Superstore in town. We have a plan with the rest of the crew to head there on Saturday, but if there's an option to go tonight, I always like to get out there early and check it out, so that should be fun. Tomorrow morning, so Alex and I are going to be joined by a couple of other guys. They're going to be coming way late. They'll be probably arriving between 12 and 1 a.m., but when they arrive, I'm sure we'll probably chit-chat and go through. We've all become friendly through the official SummerSlam chat. A lot of good laughs and memories in there. So now we're going to be getting ready for them to come and join us. And once they do, even though they're arriving pretty late, we're out the door like first thing tomorrow morning and on our way, the 2+ hours, heading to Cleveland, Ohio. And I love this. As you guys know, I am all about making your wrestling trip experience a legitimate trip and fitting as many things as possible. And Randy, who has kind of been the spearheader of this trip here, has done a great job in putting together just an incredible itinerary. I gotta figure out a way to do this for my other trips. A lot of times I'm kind of a wing it and sling it type guy. You go on a trip, you enjoy it, and you figure it out as you go from place to place. And sometimes you end up not getting as much done that way because you spend so much time trying to figure it out. But we have a pretty locked itinerary, and not only do we have like an itinerary filled with activities tomorrow, but we also have like secondary activities. So if there's time, we could add those there. Never been to Cleveland, Ohio. I didn't even realize it was that close to Detroit. So very excited that we're able to go there. The initial plan was to try to check out the Undertaker's one-man show. For some reason, he is not having a one-man show in Detroit. I don't know why, but that was supposed to, that was the plan that these guys had initially, was go see the Undertaker's Dead Man show, and then the next day go to SummerSlam. But with the Undertaker unable to do that, we're going to be heading to Cleveland tomorrow, and it's going to be a great time. We're getting there, we're getting there, trying to get there early as we can, and then we're going to a horror-themed restaurant for brunch. We'll have some other little stops along the way, but our night will end going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and then we'll be live for the Cleveland Guardians hosting the Chicago White Sox. So great to get to their stadium over there. I know it's no longer Jacobs Field. I believe it's the Progressive Field. And so that'll be another baseball stadium to check off the list there. They have fireworks after the game. It's like $2 hot dogs, $2 beers, 50-cent hot dogs, and you also get a free t-shirt just for being one of the first 12,000 people there, which we're definitely going to try to do. I know Randy's a big fan of the Guardians, and hey, I love baseball so much, so just to be able to go there is going to be a lot of fun. Saturday, we're back in Detroit, and I think that's going to basically be our big SummerSlam day. We want to make sure we get to SummerSlam. We want to make sure that we get there and that we are able to kind of take in all the sights and sounds. I think that morning for sure will be where we start things off with the Superstore. So we might get out there early at the Superstore, and then from there turn around and try to get as much merch as we possibly can. Maybe bring it back to the car, bring it back to the Airbnb, and then settle in, maybe go grab a bite and really get ready for SummerSlam. Want to get there early and then settle in for all of the matches. And again, I think the card looks great, and it's going to be awesome to be there really at the peak right now of where I'd say LA Knight is super over. They just added that Battle Royal. I know it does take the place of Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus, which is disappointing, but at the same time, to be there for that'll be fun. And every single one of these really, the atmosphere for all the WWE PLEs, if you will, has been just off the charts exciting, and to be able to be there for another one after being able to be there for WrestleMania is just incredible, and I'm super blessed for it. I'm excited for it. And we're actually spending the day there on Sunday as well, so we have a loaded itinerary for Sunday in Detroit, and I'm glad that I'm able to do this. I'm actually going to be heading back pretty late on Sunday. I have a flight that gets me back into New York around 10 p.m., so able to really have, we have tonight and then tomorrow in Cleveland, and then 2 full days in Detroit. Tons of fun, tons of memories, and I'm ready for it. It should be a great time, and I'm again grateful that I'm able to do this, and there will be a vlog for this. My hope and plan is to do one at the end of each night if I have enough energy. We'll have a 4-day vlog that goes through each and every piece of it, and then we'll be back next week to break the trip down, show all the merchandise that we were able to pick up, and it should be a lot of fun. So SummerSlam 2023, here I come. See you in the next video.